Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Alaska College Fair. We are so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today, both in this session as well as all the other sessions, which I'll cover in just a moment as well. But my name is Laura. I'll be a facilitator today. So before we get started, just a couple of quick housekeeping items I want to make everyone aware of. So you've probably already noticed this, but your camera and microphone are off. So the panelists cannot see or hear you. We still certainly want to hear from you. However, we want to hear your questions and have you engage in with the content that's going to be coming at you today. So you can use that Q&A button that you should see on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any point. So don't feel like you need to hold them to the end, or if you think of a question for a school that presented a couple back, please feel free to still use that Q&A button. As I mentioned earlier, this is just one of many fantastic sessions that are happening. So be sure to check out the schedule on the website where you've signed up for this session. I know we have one more after this, and then we also will have some panel sessions from our same schools from today at our sessions tomorrow. So that will be on the schedule. And that will be the same place you can find all of the recordings at strivescan.com/Alaska. So with that, I would like to turn it over to our first school. So we are going to kick it off today with University of Alaska Fairbanks. Take it away.
Hi, folks. My name is Joel Stone. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. Specifically, I work with a lot of our regional Fairbanks students as well as our military and veterans. And with me today, I have Ray Alda, who I'll have introduce herself here.
Hello, my name is Ray Alda. I'm another one of the admissions counselors. I have the territories from the Anchorage and Mat-Su Valley, as well as the UA Scholars.
Well, awesome. And, we're super excited to get to be here today to talk to you guys. We're going to talk a little bit about the admissions process and some of the really cool scholarships in our quick bit. But also, I just want to mention that later today, we have a lot of our different schools and colleges presenting as well. And they're going to touch really in base about their specific programs. And I encourage you guys, if you're interested, to please check those out. But a lot of students will ask, what is UAF? Who are we? And at the end of the day, we're a really big part of the University of Alaska system, specifically here in Fairbanks. We've been around since 1917, which means we're a really old institution. In fact, we've been here longer than Alaska's even been a state. But in terms of state universities, in terms of research institutions, we're a pretty small school. We have right around 5,500 students that end up being on campus. And we receive over $100 million in research funding on average, which means we have a lot of our money that goes back to our students, whether it be research and scholarships and other fun opportunities for you guys. On top of that, we have a really small student to faculty ratio, which means when you guys are in your classes, there's usually only 10 other students. Ray and myself are both alumni from the university. We both graduated a couple of years ago, Ray last year and me 2 years ago. And we can both attest that, you work directly with your faculty while you're studying here at the university, and you get a really great relationship because of that. And Ray, can you talk a little bit about some of the cool programs that we offer in diversity that's available here?
Yeah, for sure. So here listed are just a few of the majors. This is by far not all of the majors that we have. Just some of the ones that we are highlighting. And they stretch from a lot of arts and Alaska Native Studies to more of the engineering and education. We also offer fire sciences. And with these different majors, they're not all limited to just the 4-year bachelor's degree programs. We also offer 2-year associate's degree programs, certificate programs, as well as occupational endorsements. So even if you're not wanting to go necessarily into a bachelor's degree quite yet, you have different options available to you. And I definitely recommend checking out our list of our programs and in our catalog that is available on our website.
With that being said, a lot of times the first question is, all right, well, what do I need to do? If I'm interested in going to UAF, what are the first steps? And to be really honest, UAF tries to keep it as simple as possible for students. So the first step, whether you're going for a bachelor's degree, an associate's degree, one of our certificate programs, the first step is to apply online. It's applying on our main website, and it's a pretty straightforward process. There's there's not like a hidden tuition cost that we're going to throw at you, no holds, nothing like that. In terms of the actual cost, there's an application fee that comes with it, but at the end of the day, that is it when it comes to submitting your application. Once you've submitted it, you get us those high school transcripts, whether it be from the school you graduated from. If you're coming from another institution and you've been going there and you're looking to transfer, you get us those transcripts. And that at the end of the day, those are the two big steps in terms of getting admitted. UAF is a test blind institution, which means we don't necessarily look at your ACT and SAT scores. Although if you guys are looking at the APS, that's a longer conversation. You should definitely be talking to your financial aid office, whether at UAF or whichever school you're looking at going to. But at the end of the day, those two steps are the big ones that you need to take as you're looking at the university. And so some of the big deadlines that we always like to highlight is February 15th is one of our scholarship deadlines for the foundation scholarships. November 1st is if you're coming this spring, you want to apply before November, but June 15th is one of those big deadlines that we always like to highlight for you guys, because June 15th is the deadline to apply for the fall semester, which a lot of you folks are going to be looking at coming out of high school. But that being said, we always, we talk about getting into the university, but what about the cost? What does that look like? And Ray's going to talk about one of our really cool scholarships that we have called the NANIC Pledge.
So the NANIC Pledge is a merit-based scholarship that we apply on internally. And so once you submit an application to UAF and you qualify for the NANIC Pledge, this is something that you can get. It's a 4-year degree program. So it means that you can get it for all 4 years, and there's different tiers that you can get. And so usually those who are eligible for the NANIC Pledge also are eligible for the UA Scholars or the Alaska Performance Scholarship. And once those scholarships stack up, it really helps pay for a bunch of the college costs.
Yeah, and we mentioned earlier about UAF as a size and as an institution. We have tons of research, and it's for you to potentially be able to attend a really high-class research institution for almost no cost is pretty awesome. Alongside the NANIC Pledge, we have like the sister scholarship that we call the NANIC Commitment, which is similar to the NANIC Pledge for our bachelor's degree-seeking students. But rather than just looking at merit, we look at financial need as we do so, because we understand that sometimes there's a cost associated with going to school, and the amount of money you might be getting through financial aid or scholarships might not quite match up with that. And so the NANIC Pledge is meant to help cut that down. It can be up to almost $16,000 over the course of your 4 years, which is a ton of money on top of all your other scholarships. Opportunities like this can really make it so that you can go to school potentially for free or at least for a really reduced cost. But that being said, I think we're right at our 6 minutes, and we just wanted to throw up some of our contact information. You can always reach out to us if you have any questions. You should check out our later sessions if you're interested in one of our programs specifically, and we'll kind of look through the Q&A to see if there's any questions that y'all might have had. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you both. Okay, so next up we have South Dakota State University.
Hello, everybody. My name is Seth Conley, and I'm one of our coordinators of recruitment here at the South Dakota State University Admissions Office. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm going to share a little bit of information about SDSU. We'll kind of get started talking about some of our fast facts here. And these are some of the things that really make SDSU unique, both across the state and throughout the region, across the country. We'll start with where we're located. We're in Brookings, South Dakota, kind of on the central eastern side of the state of South Dakota. We are the largest university in South Dakota. The nice thing with that is we're large enough to offer a lot of those large school opportunities. We're Division I in all of our athletics. Our total enrollment's right around 11,500 students. That includes a lot of our students that are online. That includes our students at some of our distance centers. On our main campus in Brookings, we have about 10,000 students. So regionally, very much a medium-sized university, largest in the state. So we're able to offer that large school experience, but our average class size is right around 25 to 30 students. So probably not too much larger than an average high school class size for you. Our student to faculty ratio is about 18 to 19 students per every one faculty member. So you're able to get to know your professors, you're able to get to know other students right there in your classroom, form those study groups, form those great connections with your professors. All of your professors will have dedicated office hours throughout the week. which are kind of dedicated hours that they're just waiting in their office, waiting for students to come up and maybe make those introductions your freshman, sophomore year. Maybe later on, it's asking about research or part-time job opportunities within the department. And maybe senior year, it's asking for a recommendation letter before that full-time job offer. So lots of great opportunities there. Lots of things to do at SDSU, over 200 different student clubs and organizations, everything from academic clubs to 20 different multicultural clubs and organizations, to really being able to get involved in some of those extracurricular clubs, everything from the knitting club, the nursing club, to the skydiving club, and everything in between. Our students are from all over. We have students from just about every state, even students from Alaska, students from almost 75 different countries. So a lot of diversity on campus and a lot of opportunities to really meet with and get to know students that might have backgrounds different from your own. Where SDSU has been ranked the safest college town in South Dakota the last 3 years. So extremely safe campus, very well lit campus, great accredited police department, some great technology apps as well. If you're walking across campus, you're able to let other friends or family members know where you're at on campus. Brookings has also been ranked the safest college town in America just a couple years ago by an independent security firm called SafeWise. Our students, they're coming from a very successful high school background as well. Kind of looking at that 23 for an average ACT freshman GPA and coming right around a 3.3. Not our admissions requirements by any means, but just some good markers that let us know where our students are coming from. We have over 200 different fields of study at SDSU, from academic programs, majors, minors, specializations, certification programs. Some of our top 5 programs would be our agriculture, engineering, health sciences, so pre-medicine, nursing, pharmacy, education, and then business economics would be some of our top programs. We'll kind of run through some of our academic departments or academic colleges on campus. Our first one would be the College of Agriculture, Food, and Environmental Sciences. We call this CAFES for short. All of our 2- and 4-year agriculture programs, which is very historical, kind of a foundational piece for SDSU. Animal science, dairy science, and food science are included. Our College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. So looking at a lot of our professional schools, our School of Communication, School of Design, School of Performing Arts, psychology, sociology, and a lot of our fine arts programs are included in there as well. College of Education, mostly made up of our education program. We really have programs where you can work with students from birth to age 8, birth to grade 8, or that secondary education, more so that middle school and high school piece. Human sciences is going to be more focused upon improving the lives of people. So looking at programs like exercise science, physical therapy, counseling, and then our human development and family studies programs. Our Jerome J. Lohr College of Engineering, this is going to host all of our engineering programs from civil to mechanical, electrical, environmental, ag, and biosystems as well. Very much a hands-on program. Students are able to get that hands-on experience right away your freshman year in some of our engineering technology labs. Our College of Natural Sciences, so looking at a lot of the programs that are very foundational for some of those medical school options, or if you're looking at dentistry school, optometry school, a lot of students in their undergrad at SDSU would take programs within biology, human biology, biochemistry, biotechnology, and all of those majors are going to be located within our College of Natural Sciences. Our College of Nursing, mostly made up of our nursing program. We have our 4-year nursing program, our accelerated programs offered on our main campus in Brookings, as well as offered at different distance sites across the state as well. 100% job placement rate within our College of Nursing, and some great hands-on programs there. Our College of Pharmacy and Allied Health Professions, mostly made up of our pharmacy program. It is a 6-year program. Students spend their first 4 years earning their bachelor's of pharmaceutical sciences, and then they finish their final 2 years in Sioux Falls at one of our distance centers about an hour away, earning their doctorates in pharmacy. Allied Health Professions will be looking at programs a little bit more kind of closely aligned to pharmacy. So our public health programs, respiratory care, those are all going to be included there. We have a great campus life, great campus, just about 10,000 students on our main campus. This is our northeastern quadrant of campus. You can see our wellness center in the background, included for students, cardio, weight equipment, sports courts, yoga, dance studios, indoor rock climbing wall, indoor pool, and indoor track, all included in tuition and fees, so it doesn't cost students anything additional. Right beyond that is our performing arts center. You're able to take in plays, musicals, choir, band, concerts at no additional cost. And then our Dana J. Dyke House football stadium is just beyond that as well. Every single home athletic event is going to be included in that. So great campus, very safe campus at SDSU, very much a walking campus, right around 7 to 10 minutes from one side of campus to the other. So really want to encourage you guys to check out SDSU and to get started on that application process. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Seth. Okay, so just want to do another plug for that Q&A. So if any of you have any questions, again, don't hesitate to drop that in the Q&A button down below. And with that, I will turn it over to our next institution, Western Colorado University.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Brianna Clark, and I'm a Regional Director of Recruitment with Western Colorado University. I'm excited to share with you a snapshot of what we are able to offer you on our beautiful campus. First and foremost, Western Colorado University is located in Gunnison, Colorado. We are right in the heart of the Rocky Mountains, which gives our students really easy access to all things Colorado adventure. We're located 3.5 hours southwest of Denver. And within our area, our students have access to skiing and snowboarding, mountain biking, hiking, fishing, and all of those wonderful things. Within 45 minutes of campus is 2 world-class ski and snowboarding resorts, including Crested Butte and Monarch Pass. We also have over 750 miles of multi-use single trail tracks that our students can go mountain biking and hiking on. And then Blue Mesa Reservoir is the largest body of water in Colorado, and how our students have access to things like sea kayaking. Along with providing some really, really great recreational opportunities for our students, 80% of the land surrounding Gunnison is public land, and we like to call it nature's best classroom, or even our backyard laboratory. It gives our students really easy access to go out and take water samples if they're part of our biology majors. Our environment and sustainability students are going out and learning about the natural environment just 10 to 15 minutes away from campus. And our recreation outdoor education students are experiencing for themselves what it's like running some of those businesses within that program. So providing some hands-on great learning opportunities for our students. Western Colorado University is a smaller public university. We have about 3,000 students in our undergrad population and another 400 students or so in our graduate programs. Our average class size at Western is 16 students, but we do promise you will never have a class with more than 66 students in it at any given time. This means that your professors do get to know you on a first name basis 2 weeks into freshman year. They care whether or not you're in class and are also available for office hours outside of the class where they can help you pick up a topic or look into research opportunities or into internship opportunities as well. Having small class sizes with only about 16 students in it means that you can raise your hand and ask questions in class, but it also lends itself really well to more of those hands-on learning opportunities that makes up the bulk of the Western education process. I have over 100 different academic programs that our students are able to get involved in, but our most popular ones include business administration, environment and sustainability, recreation outdoor education, biology, exercise and sports science, and elementary education. But we are also growing in our STEM fields, including both mechanical engineering and computer science, as well as that geology and other programs outside as well. But my most popular major for incoming freshmen is actually undecided, undeclared. You go into what we call our exploratory program, where you do just that. Explore your options and work with your advisor to find that homework assignment you actually want to complete, and then turn that homework assignment into a future career and that major. The college experience at Western is not just about what's happening inside the classroom, but also those experiences and things that you're getting involved in outside of the classroom. We have over 50 different clubs and organizations at Western. The key thing about our clubs and organizations is that they are all student-started and student-led. So it was at some point in time, we had students on campus who said, we really need a knitting club. We need a gardening club. We need a psychology group on campus. They found about 3 or 4 other students who also had the similar interest, worked with our student government association, and then made that club happen. Our clubs fall in different categories, including our academics-based ones like our psychology and math club. We also have our athletic divisions, both NCAA division athletics, mountain sports, club sports, and intramurals. We also have art, music, and theater, as well as those passion and service-based groups like all of our outdoor clubs and activities, the knitting club, gardening, and some of those others. Our Multicultural Center and our Wilderness Pursuits office on campuses are really big offices that invite inclusivity and diversity and collection on campus to create opportunities for our students to get involved. They do all kinds of different events throughout the year that are things that our students look forward to especially. We are dedicated to the success of our students at Western and offer both tutoring services, academic advising, disability services, career services, nursing office, as well as counseling services on campus. We also have our EPIC mentors. EPIC stands for Experienced Peers Initiating Connections. They're upperclassmen students who survived freshman year themselves, and they want to help all incoming students do that as well. Every incoming student at Western is assigned one of these EPIC mentors for your entire first year that you're on campus. So not just orientation weekend or even just the first couple of weeks, but all the way up and through to the point where you would be heading home for that first summer after your freshman year. Want to touch base on the affordability of Western. My out-of-state tuition cost is coming in just under $19,000, which is well under the national average. Especially if you're looking for an out-of-state opportunity in Colorado, we are one of your affordable options. 80% of our students receive some form of financial aid, while 100% of our students who apply and are accepted to Western are considered for merit aid. The academic merit scholarship is based off of your GPA, cumulative and weighted. Any student who has at least a 3.35 GPA or higher will receive one of these scholarships. That 3.35 GPA will get you this $8,000 scholarship that is almost cutting tuition in half for you, plus a whole bunch of other scholarship opportunities. We want you to come on out and check out Western for yourself. You can go to western.edu/visit to see our on-campus in-person opportunities, or western.edu/recruitment events to see your virtual opportunities. Application, we are on a rolling admissions basis, so you can apply at any time. We are also test optional. There is a $30 application fee, but you can use the code GOWESTERN2022 to waive that. Thanks so much for listening and joining, and I will turn it back over to our facilitator.
Thank you so much. Okay, so moving right along. So next we have Kenai Peninsula College.
Oops, need to unmute myself. Thanks for having me. My name is Emily Knight. I'm the recruiter and dual enrollment coordinator at Kenai Peninsula College, and I'm so excited to have you all here to tell you about our university and what we can offer you as a student. So Kenai Peninsula College, we are a community campus of the University of Alaska Anchorage, and we have two campus locations, one on our Kenai River campus, which is located in Soldotna. And so we are literally right on the banks of the world famous Kenai River. And then our second campus, our smaller campus, is located in Kachemak Bay, or the Homer campus. And they have access to the Cook Inlet. Their marine biology programs can go out and explore. And that's what we have a picture of here. It's one of our classes down by the bay there. So we serve students of all education levels and have lots of different degree opportunities. So some of our programs offered, I'm going to highlight a few of them here, but our OECs, or occupational endorsement certificates, and certificate programs that can be done in anywhere from a semester to a year, year and a half. We have a certified nurse aide option. We just started a conservation ecology OEC and our marine mammal biology OEC that are really popular, located at our Homer campus. Petroleum production. So if you're looking at going into the oil industry or any sort of food processing, at our Soldotna campus, we have one of 3 facilities where students can learn hands-on experience. They meet with people from different oil industries. So we have ConocoPhillips and BP and Shell. They all come for internships, to offer internships to our students. We also have a welding certificate that's really popular. 2-year degree programs. So we specialize in those year-long or 2-year degree programs. So we have a general program that a lot of students will start as until they decide what major they want to pursue. We also offer Alaska Native Studies, general business, industrial process instrumentation. So that would be more, as you can see in the second photo there, that working on equipment for oil industry. And then paramedic technology, we have a great program for that. Additional programs offered. So because we're a community campus of the University of Alaska Anchorage, we can offer other things like our Associate of Applied Science in Nursing, and students can then go on to get their RN or with the BSN option through UAA. We offer art courses, anthropology, and psychology, and lots of other different programs that you can look into. Some special programs that we have include our Alaska Native languages and now the AA and the minor. So students can study the Dena'ina language, Ahtna or Yupik, And here we have our student dance group. So prior to COVID, we had a group of students that would do dances at local events. So it was really great to have the opportunity for them to practice their native traditions. The Semester by the Bay program, you see a group of students here. This is down at our Homer campus, and that brings in students from all over the United States. They can come and work in the Cook Inlet. They're learning Arctic studies for marine biology and conservation ecology. And then the Kenai River Guide Academy is something for students that want to, as a way to earn some money over the summer. They can come and take that. It's a week-long program, and they can work as a Kenai River guide in the summer months. So it's a great option for students too. So to go over our admission requirements, it's actually quite simple. All you need to apply is about 20 to 30 minutes, your contact information, your intended major, and high school or GED info. There's no hurdles. So we don't have any application fees, no SAT or ACT score requirements, no essays or letters of recommendation. And so it's something that if you want to get it done today, it's as easy as that. So you can go to our website, kpc.alaska.edu, to check out our degree programs and get your application started. Tuition and residency. So our cost of attendance is going to be the same as the University of Alaska Anchorage. It's about $234 per credit. And so for a full year, if you're looking at an undergraduate AK resident, that would be about $26,668 as the cost. We currently waive out-of-state tuition, so that's a benefit for students coming into Alaska. And then we also follow UAA's residency policy, and we are a WUI participant under UAA. We don't currently offer campus housing, but we have a lot of local housing options, and we're a great option if you have family or friends already down on the peninsula. So here are some of our social media where you can follow us on social media. Visit our Facebook page, Instagram, and we have some great videos that I would love to show you today, but go to our YouTube channel at GoKPC. And then one of the things I like to promote is why study on the Kenai Peninsula. We have lots of different options available to our students. So even though we are a small campus and we are located in more rural communities, we have access to movie theaters, arcades. We have local bike and ski trails, hiking, camping, all sorts of fun community events, obviously pre-COVID here, but lots of ways to get out and explore the Kenai Peninsula. So if you have any questions, feel free to put those in the Q&A, and thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Emily. Okay, and now we have University of Alaska Anchorage up next.
All right. Hello, y'all. My name is Fernando. I'm the Assistant Director for Student Recruitment at UAA, University of Alaska Anchorage. So we'll start off with a little information about UAA, but then also about our location here in Anchorage. As you can see, actually a nice little picture of our campus with the mountains right behind us. I know many of you may be from Alaska, so you may be somewhat familiar with the area. But I know there are certainly some from outside of Alaska here as well. So Anchorage, population's about 300,000 people. It's the largest city in the state of Alaska. So we do have quite a lot of, very large, whether it be corporations, very large events that take place here in Anchorage just by nature of it being the largest city in the state of Alaska. But it's also a bit of what we like to call, an urban wild environment where you have both the, amenities of a large urban city, but you're very close to a lot of opportunities for the outdoors, outdoor activities would be like skiing, snowboarding, hiking. We have over 100 miles of trails in the municipality, so you can really go all over and really experience the great outdoors. And we see many actually of those outdoor critters all over campus with like moose that come by every now and then, the occasional bear, but things like that are pretty cool. UAA, we have nearly 11,000 students on campus, so we are the largest of the UA campuses. We have 15 to 1 student faculty ratio, so we still maintain a fairly small class size for our students overall. So you're still getting that personal attention that you would expect at even a smaller institution than us with that student faculty ratio. And we've also been ranked #1 on return on long-term investment among our peer institutions, which that just means they compared us to institutions that are very much like us in our general vicinity, and asked them, did you think it was worth it long-term for our graduates? And they said, yes, yes, over and over again. For our, when it comes to really belonging on campus, we have great student life, athletics, and so many more things. Student clubs, we have over 100 different student clubs on campus. They can be really niche, small clubs for very specific interests. Even like I know one of our most popular ones is Chronicles of Yarnia, where they do all these cute yarn creations. But then we also have some really great clubs or organizations like the USUAA Student Government, which has a really great say for the student body in a lot of the UAA's policies. We have Division I and Division II athletics, so you have a really great way to kind of show school spirit, or if you're interested in participating in athletics, a really great way to get involved. And also a really awesome internationally ranked debate team that also is very accessible, even for people who've never debated before and you just want to practice some public speaking or something like that. For academics and undergraduate research, so these are some of our areas of academic interest. This isn't all of our majors. We couldn't fit all of those in just one slide, but just kind of the general areas. I'll speak to a few of them because again, we're limited on time, just 6 minutes here. So the 3 that I'll mention is business, engineering, and health sciences. So business, again, being in the largest city in the state of Alaska is a very big boon for us. So we have a lot of very great industry leaders, a lot of both small, medium, and large businesses that we partner our students with, whether it be through internships or even our College of Business and Public Policy's business plan competition, where we actually pitch your individual entrepreneurial business plan to a group of community leaders to get funding. You actually can win up to $6,000 in funding for your idea. So it really gets, it gets you that foot in the door when it comes down to starting your own business. Engineering. One thing I always love mentioning about our engineering programs, that we have 100% placement rate, and that of the students who graduated in this past year, 74% of them had job offers before they graduated, and 34% of them had 3 or more job offers. So they are getting lots of offers for employment even before they're graduating. Health science and professions. So we are the health science campus of Alaska. So if you are interested in, whether it be nursing or say eventually going on into the medical field, we have really great facilities for you. We're also located right across the street from the largest hospital in the state of Alaska. So you have great access for whether it be internships, if you have like clinical rotations, things like that. Everything is just right there. The hospital is actually even a little closer to our residence halls than our main campus is, because they're on the same side of the street. Then a little bit about cost and affordability. So here, the estimated cost of attendance for Alaska residents, again, tuition and fees, about $7,000 a year, but we have lots of scholarships that can help cut that down, especially if you fill out the FAFSA. There's many both state, federal, and then even institutional scholarships that can really help cut down that cost. And then we also have WUI tuition for those of you who are out of state, which is just under $10,000 a year. I will mention the books and supplies estimate is just an estimate. Don't think you're going to spend that much every single year on books. Room and board is if you live on campus. You're not required to live on campus, but if you would like to, that is essentially a flat cost. Then we have really cool ways for you to experience a new place, study abroad opportunities, or a semester away with national student exchange, where you can exchange to another institution throughout the entire U.S. and its territories. Continue paying the same either in-state or WUI tuition while you're out there, so it's not really an additional cost. And we have some really great locations like Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Guam, California, Texas that you can exchange to for a semester or a full academic year. And finally, residence life. We have great housing options, suite style residence halls where you have your own bedroom, so you don't have to share that part with your roommates or with your suite mate, I should say. So a lot of really cool ways for you to get involved. And with that, the last thing I'll leave you with is just there's an upcoming event, Academic Preview Week. We have open houses the rest of this entire week. They are on campus. So if you want to swing by, just go to our website and sign up. And with that, I will pass it on to our next presenter.
Thank you, Fernando. Okay, and we have our final school for this session, and that is Alaska Pacific University. Take it away.
Oblum Tikani Atika Cheryl A. Konga Inokzuk Alvana Apia Konga. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Sherilyn Twadrick, and I'm one of the admissions counselors for Alaska Pacific University. So a little bit about APU. Hang on one moment, sorry. We are located in Anchorage. We are actually right near the UAA campus. We are a much smaller liberal, sorry, hang on. We are a much smaller college than UAA. We have about a total of 550 students enrolled, but not all of those students live on campus. 85% of our students are Alaska Native. Our student to faculty ratio is about 7:1, so you really get to know your professors and you really get to know your classmates as well. If a larger school sounds pretty intimidating to you, then APU could potentially be a good fit. We have 3 on-campus housing options. The main one is Atwood Center in the Atwood Hall. And that's the typical dorm style setting that you would have on campus. The other 2 are on-campus apartments for the upperclassmen. A little bit about our academics. APU focuses on experiential learning. Place-based means that we want to get you outside the classroom and into the outdoors or into the community. For some majors, that could mean doing an internship in the city. For others, it could mean having class on top of a mountain or in the middle of the wilderness. Our academic programs are relevant to Alaska. Our programs are designed to help you to get employed in health, village, and Native corporations, starting your own businesses, and much more. We've offered classes on campus such as Indigenous kayak building, beading, Alaska Native plants and traditional uses. Once you apply and you get accepted, you would be assigned an academic advisor who will walk you through the process of registering for classes and understanding your degree program. APU has 3 major institutes. We have the Business and Public Policy, Culture and Environment, and Health and Wellness. On the next slide, I'll be showing you the list of our academic programs, but I'm not going to go over all of them. Our top 5 programs that people typically apply for at APU are psychology, nursing, business, outdoor studies, and marine and environmental sciences programs. We range from undergraduate certificate programs all the way to a doctorate degree. And although I forgot to include it on this slide, we also have graduate certificate programs as well. At APU, we understand that campus life outside of the classroom is just as important as your academics. Just to kind of talk about a little bit of the stuff that we've had in the past and things that we've done even during COVID. During COVID, we've had stuff like fun runs, game nights, dancing, karaoke, axe throwing, and kayaking. During a regular year, we'll have things like potlucks on campus. And on campus, we do have a rock wall along with a workout room and a gym. We also have an Olympic-sized pool, and they've held events in there such as log rolling, open swim, paddleboard yoga, and swim lessons. On campus, we also have a gear room where you can rent outdoor gear like fat tire bikes, skis, camping gear, and a lot more at very reduced rates. On campus, we have different support services like free counseling to students at our Counseling Services Center. We also have a disability support services on campus for students who need accommodations. We have a chapel on campus that's open for anyone of any denomination. We also have an academic support center where we have tutoring, study groups, and a computer lab available to students. We also have a Native Student Services Center on campus where we have a Native Student Services Coordinator that is there to help students to get acquainted with living in Anchorage. And that can include stuff like learning how to use the bus system. And that's another benefit of going to APU is that your student ID also serves as a free bus pass. For APU, we have a pretty straightforward application process, and it can be basically broken down into 3 different steps. The first one is to apply online, and you also pay the application fee. Before the priority deadline it is a $25 application fee. Afterwards, it is a $50 application fee, but if you cannot afford the application fee, we do have application fee waivers available for those who qualify. And all you need to do is ask for it. The documents that we require is if you have less than 30 credits of college, if you have less than 30 college credits, then we ask for your high school transcript or GED and any college transcripts that apply. If you have a GPA of 2.5 or higher, then it's a pretty streamlined process. If you have a lower GPA, we are more than happy to work with you. We do not require SAT or ACT scores because we are a blind or a test blind institution. And just some of our important deadlines for next fall. Our priority deadline is May 1st for applications. Our final deadline is August 1st. And just to kind of talk a little bit about our scholarship opportunities, make sure you fill out the FAFSA because you could potentially qualify for some great financial aid. We have a merit-based scholarship that is available for students with a 2.75 GPA or higher, and it can range from $1,500 to $7,000. We also have donor-funded scholarships that you can apply for on the APU 1 application online. We have the Promised Tuition Grant for those that are Pell eligible, and you can qualify for potentially a reduced or $0 tuition cost. And the last thing that I'd really like to highlight, since I'm running out of time, is that we have an Alaska Tribal Health System scholarship for those that are the dependents of employees of a tribal health organization. You could qualify for 30% reduced tuition. And if you'd like to reach out to us, I will include an inquiry card in the chat, but you can reach us at admissions@alaskapacific.edu. We are also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And here is our info card if you'd like to fill it out.
Thank you, Cheryl. And thank you to all of our presenters. So fantastic content here. We do have time, I think, for one question to pose to our panelists here. So I'd like to bring everybody back and welcome you back here to answer the question of what is one thing that you want, like a myth, one myth that you'd like to debunk from the college admissions process. And this doesn't have to be, you know, specific to your school, but just overall, a myth you'd like to debunk. And we'll start with University of Alaska Fairbanks.
I think the myth that for us is most important to debunk, and I would say is most important. I would say for all all colleges. So I'm rooting for all 6 of us, but I think a lot of folks look at universities as places that we want something from you guys, and that we're not here. We want you guys to be successful as students. We are on your side, and because of that, people such as like us, we're here to help you guys throughout all of the process. So whenever we say we want you guys reaching out to us, we want you asking questions, and we want to help you. We really do mean it. We love getting to help you guys. And so that would probably be the piece I want to debunk is I want you guys to know that we are all here to help you. We want you to be successful. So reach out to, if you're looking at UAF or if you're looking at, Western Colorado, reach out to the people in our offices because we are always here to help you guys.
I would say a myth I'd like to debunk is that the college search process has to be overwhelming. We definitely don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed. And I know each of us on our website and kind of have some paper materials of checklists and things that really help kind of break down that college search process. Pay attention to some of those dates, start looking at some of those things you can do even as early as your sophomore, junior year with some of those college visits. Apply early, throughout the summer and the fall of your senior year. Look at some of those scholarship applications around the fall of your senior year and housing applications. It doesn't have to be something that's overwhelming that you have to fit in over winter break or in the spring of your senior year. We really encourage you to get started early.
Myth that I would like to debunk is the idea that you have to have it all figured out. You are in high school, and part of the college experience is being able to explore those different options, whether it's from a major or career opportunities or the things that you actually enjoy spending your time on in those free hours. That's part of growing up and experiencing those different things. So if you're unsure about what you want to study and somebody's asking you, what do you want to do? You can absolutely say, I don't know. Can you tell me a little bit more about what some of your options are? And that is a more honest answer than saying a random major that comes to your head that day. And that helps us as admissions counselors guide you in the right direction too. So be true to yourself and don't worry.
All great things you guys had to share. I think the myth I'd like to debunk is that the sticker price that a university posts on their website or that you see listed, I don't want that to shock you, or just know that the sticker price isn't what you're going to pay. So just because an institution puts that on their website, there's scholarship opportunities, numerous opportunities like everyone has mentioned here today. And just know that don't be discouraged to attend any given university because of the cost.
And unfortunately, kind of stole the one that I had. So from our community campus over there. But yeah, I would definitely say dig a little deeper than just whatever you see on someone's website. Like even for like say our friends over at APU, don't be shocked by the sticker price. There's tons of scholarships, both on the private, the public side, everything in between. Just really dig into kind of what you're interested in and see how it can be a lot more affordable an experience, whether at UAA or any of our other institutions here in Alaska or abroad, or I should say on back in the lower 48 for the rest of y'all.
And one thing that I think I would like to encourage people to do is, even if you have kind of a lower GPA, don't let that think that you can't be successful in college, because the college experience is a lot different than high school. Because in high school, you have to take these certain classes to get your degree. And yes, that's pretty typical for a degree program, but you also have to remember that you are choosing what you study. And so if you have a lower GPA, don't be afraid to reach out to these universities and be like, hey, can you work with me with this admissions process? Because we would be more than happy to work with you.
Wonderful. Great pieces of advice there. Appreciate all of you sharing. So with that, we are at time here. So thank you all for being here. I think there was just some fantastic advice and content, obviously, to hear and see the amazing pictures from all of your institutions. So just a couple final things here, just to wrap it up. Hopefully everybody is seeing my screen, but after we close this window out, we will have a very quick 5-question survey that will appear. So appreciate any feedback you're able to share there. And just wanted to reiterate, this is just one of several sessions. So we actually have another one that we'll be hopping into in just a few moments here. So if you're not signed up, would encourage you to sign up at strivescan.com/Alaska. And you will also be able to see all of the recordings, this one, as well as all the other sessions at that same link. And we also will be having some panel sessions tomorrow. So just wanted to route you to that as well. And you can see the schedule on that same website. So with that, again, thank you all for being here. It was fantastic. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.